The 49ers have suspended their radio commentator, Tim Ryan, for saying on a radio show on Monday that Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is good at faking handoffs because of his dark skin with the dark football.
Yeah, I did see this.
Okay. We hold Tim to a high standard as a representative of our organization, and he must be more thoughtful with his words. You know what this reminds me of?
What?
This reminds me of Jimmy the Greek. Remember Jimmy the Greek?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Remember his comments that got him basically destroyed his life?
Well, it was something about black guys have like an extra bone in their foot or some shit.
I didn't say that. He was talking about the slave owners, that in order to have better slaves, they would breed their big black woman with their big black man.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's how football players more or less came to be, that they were big, strong, workhorses more or less.
What's wrong with that?
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, that basically was the end of his career on as a commentator, as a what do you call that? An odds maker?
Yeah, well, yeah, and he was like the weekly guy on the CBS football show.
Yeah, he was an odds maker.
I don't remember it per se. Was he sitting there next to Jane Kennedy, who was also on that show?
I don't think he was even thinking, that it was a racist statement at all. I think he was just saying that, through breeding,
right?
You're breeding, very productive, strong stock.
Right.
And I don't think he meant that in a nefarious way.
I don't think so. I think he was, though, somewhat old-fashioned and still had somewhat of a thought that black guys weren't exactly human. That he was talking about their breeding to breed athletes, like you would mix two fucking dogs together or something.
Yeah, exactly. I got it right here.
All right, let's hear this.
Jimmy the Greek says blacks are bred for sports. Now, he made this comment way back in January of 1988.
And he was also unemployed in January of 1988,
Pretty
right?
much. Right. So 31 years ago, almost 32 years ago, CBS sports commentator Jimmy the Greek Snyder, in remarks that touched off a firestorm of reaction and criticism, said in a televised interview yesterday that the blacks are better athletes than whites because they have been bred to be that way, and that the only thing left for the whites is a couple of coaching jobs. Schneider, 70, in Washington for the CBS telecast on Sunday's NFC Championship while he was having lunch with Duke Zebert's restaurant. He was interviewed by WRC TV reporter seeking comments on the significance of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. Snyder's on-camera remarks were the lead story on Channel 4's newscast at 6 p.m. And immediately afterward, he apologized, saying he did not mean to offend anyone.
Right.
I should have expressed myself a lot better than I did today. In the Channel 4 interview, he was asked by the WRC writer-producer about civil rights in sports. Snyder said, well, you've got everything. If they, the blacks, take over coaching like everybody wants them to, there's not going to be anything left for the white people. I mean, all the players are black. I mean, the only thing that the whites control is the coaching jobs. The black talent is beautiful. It's great. It's out there. The only thing left for the whites is a couple of coaching jobs. Later in the interview, he said there are 10 players on a basketball court. If you find 2 whites, you're lucky. Either 4 out of 5 or 9 out of 10 are black. Now, that's because they practice and they play and they practice and they play. They're not lazy like the white athlete. The black is better at athletics to begin with because he's been bred to be that way. because of his high thighs and his big thighs that go up to his back, and they can jump higher and run faster because of their bigger thighs, you see.
Right.
Still later, I'm telling you that the black is better athlete, and he practices to be a better athlete, and he's bred to be a better athlete, because this goes all the way back to the Civil War, when during the slave trading, the black owner or the slave owner would breed his big woman so that she would have big black kids. That's where it all started.
Wow. At some point, when you're rattling this off on TV, doesn't it just jump into your head to shut the fuck up?
Well, you got to think this was 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And, people had a different viewpoint of that back then. I think he was thinking, and again, I don't know what was in his mind, but I'm thinking that he was just sort of given a historical synopsis about how breeding and things have caused the modern athlete to be bigger and stronger.
Right.
I don't think he meant it as a racist thing. He was just saying, the slave owners, they wanted better, workers, on their plantations. So, they figured, oh, well, I got this big, strong woman. I got this big, strong man. I mean, it goes back to even Hitler.
Right.
Hitler wanted a superior race. So he had like blonde women and blonde men, and, he wanted that Aryan race.
Right.
So he wanted the most strongest, the most pure, whatever. That's not saying it's right, but that's the mindset.
So are you trying to justify Hitler and Jimmy the Greek?
Yeah,
is that what you're doing?
I get where they're coming from with their thought process and just vocalizing it like, yeah, this is how it happened.
I see where
it's not saying, yeah, that was a good thing. It's just like, yeah, this is how it happened. This is history.
Right.
And I believe, and again, I don't know Jimmy the Greek. The guy's dead now, but
right.
At the time, I can almost sympathize saying, yeah, he was probably thinking he was given a history lesson.
Yeah, well, he got the history fired from CBS. He's made the all-time history.
Yeah.
His firing was historical.
Well, this next story falls right in line with that.
All right.
So this goes back to this broadcaster who made a statement that was, I guess you would call it factual, or this is what I observed. Whether you agree with it or not, this is what I observed. So his powers to be that says, we hold Tim to a high standard as a representative of our organization, and he must be more thoughtful with his words. Tim has expressed remorse in his public statement and has also done to us privately, the 49ers said in a statement to the San Francisco Chronicle. We know Tim is a man of high integrity and are confident he will grow and learn from this experience.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll learn. Yeah, I'll never say that again.
You know where he's going to learn? From home when he's fired.
Ryan issued a statement saying, I regret my choice of words in trying to describe the conditions of the game. Lamar Jackson is an MPV caliber player, and I respect him greatly. I want to sincerely apologize to him and anyone else I offended.
Why are you apologizing?
Yeah, you got black skin. You mix in with the football. That's what I saw.
I'm sorry, but, Lamar Jackson's skin is the same color as a football. So what? You don't hear white baseball players freaking out because their fucking white hand fucking hides the baseball when they throw it. Would that be racist if I said that?
To me, it would not be.
I mean, what the fuck? What about when white soccer players go running down the field? Does that make this? Are they hiding the ball with their legs as they kick it down the field? Can't see it because they're white, same color as the ball?
That's why it's got black spots on it, so you can, find it quicker.
Is that why we're getting black hockey players now, so you can hide the puck better? Is that the only reason black players are playing hockey more? Because they're hiding.
They're going to get better at it because they can hide the puggies.
That's right. You just pass it to the black guy and no one can find it.
It just disappeared. It's like camouflage.
It's like, where did it go? Oh, it's in the net. How did it get there?
God damn it.
How did those floating teeth hit it into the fucking net?
He fooled us again.
It's like, good Lord, just stop with this over-dramatic, everything's racist bullshit.
I agree.
My God, this guy was not being racist.
He was just saying, yeah, well, there's more to the statement, and I'll read the statement, and it'll all make sense.
All right, well, hold on. Before you even read the statement, let's say that this was Solomon Wilcots that said this instead of this guy. Do we even hear about this story?
Never.
We wouldn't have heard about it at all.
Nope.
But since it's a white guy, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to, distinguish between, any kind of skin hue.
Yeah. Guess what? Animals in the wild fucking are chameleons. There's a fucking animal called a chameleon, for God's sakes. What does it do? It morphs to the color of its surroundings to hide itself. That's just what's going on here. I'm not saying that this guy should. I'm not sure why he felt that he needed to point this out as
Maybe he was just talking off the top of his head, just kind of like, just riffing. It wasn't a prepared statement. He was just like, yeah, it gets lost in the mix.
I guess. I mean, he brought new meaning to color commentary, but Jesus Christ. Not that bad.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill, David from Cincinnati. Color commentary. That was good, Chris. When I heard